Last week, it was reported that the January 6th committee is basically ready to file a criminal referral for Donald Trump with the Department of Justice. And then later in the week, the New York Times reported that, hold your horses, folks, there's apparently some dissension in the ranks on the January 6th committee, and not everybody is on board, as the New York Times put it, with, putting the DOJ in this position to, it could taint, it says, their ongoing investigation. What ongoing investigation, first of all? Let's be real about that. Like, oh no, we've sent a criminal referral to Trump and this may taint what the DOJ isn't doing yet? Not exactly the brightest bulbs over there at the New York Times these days. But nevertheless, this past weekend, Liz Cheney from the committee went on CNN. Jake Tapper asked her about the New York Times report, saying, hey, they say there's, disagreement about criminal charges. What say you, Liz Cheney? And this is what she said. There's not really a dispute on the committee. The committee is working in a really collaborative way to discuss these issues, as we are with all of the issues we're addressing, and we'll continue to work together to do so. So I wouldn't characterize there as being a dispute on the committee. So she says there's no dispute, but kind of sounds like from her statement there's a little bit of a dispute on the committee. Like, we're working through some issues. I wouldn't characterize it as a dispute. So clearly, dancing around the issue there, as Cheney's love to do, she's kind of admitting that, yes, apparently there is a little bit of truth to that New York Times report. Perhaps there's a ton of truth to the New York Times report. And again, to all of that, I say, why? Why the hell are these people so afraid to tell the DOJ to do their job? Heck, they came out 2 weeks ago and literally told the DOJ, do your job. And now here you have the chance to give the DOJ the ammunition they need to be able to do their job. And some members of the committee are sitting there like, well, I don't know now. Maybe we shouldn't go this route. Maybe it's going to taint the DOJ. They're too busy investigating Hunter Biden, which they are. This makes zero sense. I mean, how much more evidence do we need? How many more judges have to come out and say, hey, I've seen the evidence, looks like the guy committed a crime? How many more people have to say this before this committee and this DOJ finally wake up and realize they've got a case on their hands? I'm not saying they've got a slam dunk prosecution, but do they have a case? Hell yeah, they have a case. And they're just not doing it. That's the problem. They're not doing it. Now, personally, I would prefer if the January 6th committee did not immediately send a criminal referral to Donald Trump until the committee's work is finished, right? Until we get that final report, I don't want to see them refer Donald Trump for criminal charges. I would like to have all of the information, as I'm sure most people would too. I know we're anxious for Trump to face justice, but let's be real. Let's make sure that no corners are cut. Let's make sure that no stone is left unturned. That's actually how you handle a lawsuit, right? It's how you handle a criminal prosecution. You don't move forward when you only have half of the facts. You wait till everything is there, then you assemble your case, or in this case, your criminal charges, then you move forward. Working on a criminal referral now would leave out vital information. It would be done before the committee has concluded their work. In other words, it would be a bad idea. So if members of the committee are objecting on those grounds, I have no problem with it because they'd be right. If they're objecting to criminal referrals because, the DOJ is just blah, 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 then no, you're a bunch of idiots. And that's that. Thanks for watching. And if you like what you saw, don't forget to like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe to our Ring of Fire channel here.